We have outside the box goals, we have curlers, we have headers. Let's talk football. So before we get started talking about the World Cup, of course, we need to talk about a couple of different things that happened throughout the day, which I think is important to take note of. Starting off, guys, going back into the conversation about Nico Paz. Apparently, he has told Real Madrid that he wants to stay in Como for one more year. So it is rumored that Mourinho cannot promise him a starting position, which is I mean it's true. He just got Bernardo Silva. I don't see him not being benched. So due to that, it convinced Nico Paz to stay another year. So with that, Real Madrid only has 1 year remaining in order to activate that clause uh, until June of 2027. So if they do not do it by then, they will not be able to buy him for the amount that they had agreed on, which was 10 million. Okay. That being said, guys, according to Fabrizio Romano, Bernardo Silva has already signed his contract, and it is said that it's going to be a 2 year contract with an option for a third. And they're probably going to announce it today before the Portugal game. That is what is being rumored. So I want to make sure that we talk about that. Um, England just got hit with a low. Dino Libramento has suffered a muscular injury and has been taken out of the squad. They have called up Chabola from Chelsea to replace him, and he will join the team after the first match. Still no Trent Alexander-Arnold, which is a big hit for him, I'm sure. So, want to make sure that we talk about that as well. Following up, guys, Korea, the Korean Republic, has broke relations with their own media from their country. So, during a couple of training sessions that Korea had during the week, the media had taken a video and they basically criticized Hyun Min Sung the way that he ran. So they commented that he ran like he was going and he was in the battalion basically, and he was going to war, and then followed up by poking fun at him and criticizing the fact that he did not do his military duty. Now, I don't want to overstep a couple different things. I do not understand or know anything of the Korean culture, but I only know the culture that I'm in, which is here in the United States. That being said, military is not forced on us. We do have to sign in case there is a war, but whatever, right? I think from my point of view that South Korea were right to do that, especially because in the World Cup, the people that you need support from are your own. And the fact that you have your own people criticizing you is, to me, is very disrespectful. So I stand besides the Korean national team in the decision to exclude any sort of national reporters for the remainder of this tournament. So I fully agree with that. Um, Continuing, guys, the BBC has informed that Manchester United will not loan Marcus Rashford out again. Basically, Manchester United want to sell him. They had a buy clause for $30 million from Barcelona that expired on Monday. So now, basically, if Barcelona do decide that they want to buy him, they have to renegotiate. But once again, they do not want to send him out on another loan, which is what Barcelona are trying to push for. And I'm sure we all know why, because Barcelona has financial issues. They're trying to sell players in order to bring in more players, which to me makes no sense, especially after buying Gordon. That to me makes no sense. But you know, that's also one of the reasons why they missed out on signing other players like Bernardo Silva or Cucurella or Konate or Dumfries, which they were all linked to, by the way. Let's not forget that. Yeah. Now, going back to what happened in yesterday, as everybody knows, after Tunisia got banged on by Sweden, they fired their coach. So as of today, they have hired Hervé Renard to coach the remaining 2 games, and apparently the government is going to pay for his salary for the 2 games remaining. Shouts out to that. I guess to me, it's whatever. I don't see Tanisha doing anything in this tournament, regardless. Following up, one of the stars of the World Cup before it even started, Tim Payne from New Zealand, is set to have signed a pre-contract with Olympia from Paraguay. I'm not sure how I feel about that, but then again, I think that after the performance that he showed, I think that he could have a good time over there. Paraguay, any South American um, team is going to be hard. Each league is different, okay? So it's not what you're used to, but then again, it's not like Tim Payne is playing in a huge league to begin with. So what this allows him to do is go and experience what it's like to be in South America. He has an opportunity to go play in La Copa Libertadores, which that is another plus. So I think a big thumbs up for this potential signing. And Tim Payne hinted at this being a true thing in his Instagram story last night. Yeah, I think that those are really the main things to talk about before we get started about the World Cup. So rolling it back, we are going to start off with France with Senegal. That's the game that started off the games today. And man, first half, I think it was a really tight back and forth game. And I think that we need to keep an eye out, an alert for what Senegal is going to do for the remaining of this tournament, because they really held down France. France did not get a single shot on goal for the first half, thanks to that Senegal defense. All right. So, Senegal, African champions, yes, no. I think it depends on who you ask. To me, they are. But nonetheless, we got to keep an eye out for them because they are dangerous. But separating the first half from the second half, at the 66th minute, Kylian Mbappe came and scored his first goal of the tournament, which had him, I believe he had surpassed Messi with that goal, only for a couple of hours, of course. But he surpassed Messi with that goal to be one of the highest scoring World Cup players in history. Okay, at the 82nd minute, Barcola scored the second goal, which, by the way, if you guys are not aware, Barcola has put in his transfer request from PSG because he just desperately needs minutes. And whenever you see the type of player and caliber that he is, it makes sense. He deserves to be a starter. But how can you start when you're the backup to Kvaratskhelia? I mean, he's a beast. So, I think that's a big reason to want to leave. And it said that Barcelona want him, but once again, how is Barcelona gonna get him when Barcelona has no money? Okay, so he scored a beautiful chip over the goalie. I think that getting your goal in the World Cup is definitely a way to bring your market value up. Okay, so I think another player to keep an eye on is the Senegalese player that scored the one. Okay, in the 95th minute, Ibrahim Bale scored a banger of a goal. He juked the defender. My man's was in the floor with a broken ankle, basically, and he hit that banger. Beautiful goal. And at that moment, everybody was going crazy. The announcers were going crazy. The only person that was not going crazy was Kylian Mbappe, because even the camera panned to him, and my man was like, "Calma, calma, don't you all worry." And literally within seconds, Kylian Mbappe scored to me, the goal of the tournament so far, because he got that ball and he didn't even look up. He already knew where it was gonna go. He shot that bad boy. Boom, 3-1 was the final score today. Due to that, I am a big fan of Kylian Mbappe. Of course, I am a Real Madrid fan, so it makes sense. But hey, I think that we're talking about GOAT status, right? He is only 2 goals away from tying Miroslav Klose, and if Messi surpasses him in this championship, I think that Mbappe is going to be right there hand in hand with him, right? Not to mention that Mbappe probably still has maybe two more World Cups to him, three if he really wants to push it. So I am excited to see what the final thing is going to be like in regards to the scores. Okay, following up, guys. Um, Norway versus Iraq. I have my in my notes. I put down the wrong score. I don't know why, but we're gonna talk about the first goal because that involves a certain man that we all know and love. This machine that we called Erling Haaland. This is his goal, his World Cup debut, and he scored his first World Cup goal. Which, if you guys did not know, Erling Haaland has scored in his debut in the Bundesliga. He scored in his debut in the Champions League. He scored in his debut in the Premier League, and now he has scored in his debut for the World Cup. What a machine! All right, um, Norway started off the game strong, and then Iraq 10 minutes later tied it up with a beautiful header from Hussein. At this point, I thought that this was going to be a banger of a game, a really back and forth game, but no. Right before the half, there was a mistake from the defense and the goalie that led to Erling Haaland getting the ball back and scoring the second goal. At that point, that's when I knew that the game was over for Iraq, because whenever they got scored that goal, especially going into the second half, that break right there, it just lowers you, you know. So after that, they came back and they just were not the same. Two more goals happened, and then Norway finished the game with a 4-1 win. This is a beautiful way to start your World Cup journey. So shouts out to Norway. Shouts out to Erling Haaland for scoring his first goals. Excited to see how far you go. Now, guys, talking about Argentina versus Algeria. I'm not a Messi fan, but I have to sit here and acknowledge the fact that this man is a beast. Okay, first and foremost, shouts out to Argentina for being the first South American team to win so far in the tournament, because every single other team has not been able to do it. But going back, guys, let's talk about the fact, like I said earlier, that today was the day for bangers, because my man Lionel Messi literally came in here and said, I'm gonna take over, I'm gonna score a hat trick. He scored 3 golazos. Well, the first one was a golazo. The second one was a bounce off of the goalkeeper from a shot from McAllister. But I mean, he secured it, and now he tied Miroslav Klose. So from now on, if he scores another goal, he will be the record holder of history for the World Cup, which, you know, is great for him. I love to see it happen. It's good for the sport, and shouts out to Argentina for starting off their World Cup campaign the way that they did. And finally, guys, it's like 2 a.m. for me right now, because I just got done watching the Austria versus Jordan, which ended up 3-1. Continuing, guys, with the conversation about bangers for goals, man. A golazo to start off. Austria, it was a beautiful goal from outside the box, but Jordan did not step back, because they actually scored a beautiful goal themselves. Man, the tie was good, and then well, Austria scored off of a own goal, which I think that it's unfortunate, but hey, whatever works, right? Jordan were fighting to the very end. They were really trying to do everything, but at the last play of the match, I think they added like 10 minutes to the game. There was a handball, which led to a 3-1 victory for Austria. Shouts out to Austria, because this is the first time they have made it to the World Cup in a long time. So there's a lot of players that will be experiencing, or I'm sorry, have experienced their first time in the World Cup. And the first name that comes to my mind is, of course, the legend himself, David Alaba. He did leave the game early a little bit because he was hurt, which, at this point, duh, it's David Alaba. He gets hurt every game. But I hope that this is not something that's going to keep him back from the future games that he has remaining. So, shouts out to that, guys. Before we close off the video, of course, I need to talk about what games are tomorrow from my Panini book. All right, so I think that the first game that the first game that comes to mind, it has to be the Portugal game. So we have Portugal versus the Republic of Congo. Then we have Uzbekistan against Colombia. We have England against Croatia, and then finishing it off with Ghana versus Paraguay. Of course, to me, the biggest game to keep an eye on is to see the debut of Cristiano Ronaldo El Bicho. I think that the England game is also going to be good. So excited to come back and talk to you guys about that. Just keep an eye out on any shorts that may be coming out as well. And yeah, guys, if you like this video, please comment, like, and subscribe. Thank you very much. Peace.